So at the beginning of the film we hear a child's voiceover, who was saying that 2 years ago one night at 2:17 in Maybrook, Pennsylvania, 17 children ran out of their home and were never found. The surprising thing here was that these 17 missing children were from the same class of Maybrook Elementary School. There were a total of 18 children in that class, out of which 17 disappeared. And only one child named Alex survived. The next day, the teacher of that class, Justine Gandy, finds only Alex sitting in her class, and she was shocked. Now the parents of the missing child were blaming the class teacher Justin that he must have taught the children something due to which they behaved like this. A police investigation immediately begins in which Justin is questioned. Then Alex is also questioned a lot. But both of them said that they did not know anything about this accident. Even the police could not find out anything except that the 30 children had run away from home at exactly 2:17 in the night, because some houses had safety alarms that rang at the same time. Then there were CCTV cameras in some houses in which it was clearly visible that these children were running, and his running style was also a little different, like a Naruto run. So friends, this was the setup of the movie, and at this point the movie will be shown to us from the perspective of different characters, and I will also explain it to you in the same way. So first of all, the story is shown from the point of view of the class teacher Justin, where all the parents of the missing child were blaming Justin. The school principal Andrew Matthews defends Justin here, saying that Justin had no hand in all this. But a parent named Archer Graff was putting the entire blame on Justin. After this meeting, that night Justin goes to the shop to buy alcohol. There a drug addict named James asks her for some money. You must remember this James guy. Justin ignores him and somehow goes home because Justin was afraid that some parent might attack her in anger. In fact, some parents had already started threatening her by calling from unknown numbers. Next morning, Justine finds that someone had painted a big witch on her car. So Justine files a complaint with the police, and here we meet a police officer named Paul who is close to Justine. Meeting both of them say hi to each other. Now in school, Justine wanted to talk to Alex, but Principal Marcus clearly forbids her. He says that because Alex was the only child in her class who did not go missing. So already Alex has been interrogated a lot by the police and many departments. Moreover, the pressure of parents, Marcus asks Justine to leave work for a few days and go on a break. Otherwise, the atmosphere can get spoiled. Justin has to go on a break even though she does not want to. But Justin had definitely started following Alex here. That night, Justine goes to a pond where Paul comes to meet her. They talk about recent events and Justine was clearly drunk. In fact, she wanted to make Paul drink too. Long story short, Paul also drinks and they both sleep together. And the strange thing here was that Paul was already married. Yes, friends, Paul's wife's name is Donna and Justine also knows this. Still, they both got intimate. In fact, this was not happening for the first time. Now the next day, Justine again follows Alex and she even tries to talk to Alex. But Alex not only stops Justin from following her, he runs away. Justine still doesn't give up and goes to Alex's house. No one opens the door when they knock, and Justine notices that every window in the house is covered with paper. Justine notices a small gap in a window, and upon looking inside, she finds Alex's parents sitting on the sofa like statues in a strange trance state. Seeing this, Justine gets scared and immediately calls Principal Marcus, saying that Marcus should check on Alex's house in a legal way so that at least he can see if Alex is safe or not. Now that night, Justine is in her car outside Alex's house so she can keep an eye on the house. Late in the night, Justin falls asleep and then the door to Alex's house opens. Alex's mother comes out of the house walking strangely to Justin's car with scissors in her hand. Then she sneaks into the car and cuts off a bit of Justin's hair. Justine, who was sleeping, did not notice anything. Now the perspective changes from here. That means now the story will be shown from the perspective of a man named Archer Graff. And Archer Graff's son, Matthew, is also missing. Archer is the same guy who yelled at Justin in the parent-teacher meeting. Then Archer followed Justine into the liquor shop. Archer was the one who painted "witch" on Justin's car, and he was keeping an eye on Justin because he was suspicious of him. Archer repeatedly asks the police if his son has been found. But the police do not have any updates. In such a situation, Archer himself repeatedly watches the video of his son Matthew running away because there was a camera outside his house too in which the video of Matthew's running away was recorded. In this video, Matthew again ran in a particular style. I mean, it is a nudo run or something like that, and he ran in a particular direction. Archer immediately draws a line on the town map from his house in the direction in which Matthew fled. After this, Archer goes to another victim's family's house and checks their CCTV footage. And then he sees his daughter Bailey escape. There's a line from their house on the map, and both these lines intersect at a particular point. This means, friends, that the children who ran away have gone towards this intersection point and are probably somewhere nearby. Now, while doing all this research, Archer suddenly sees Justine's car, and Justine is standing at a gas station to get fuel. Archer immediately goes after Justin and starts yelling at him. But then suddenly we see Principal Marcus, who is also running in the same weird way as the kids. Not only this, he was completely covered in blood and looked as if he was in a trance state. Then he runs away and attacks Justin directly. Archer tries to stop them here. But looking at Marcus, it seemed as if he was under someone's control and his only motive was to destroy that is Justin. Justine somehow manages to escape into the store, and Marcus escapes from Archer and pursues Justine. Here Archer and Justin were trying together to somehow stop Marcus. And looking at Marcus, it seemed as if he was under a spell. This is where this scene gets cut. Now friends, here I want to tell you one thing, that both Justin and Archer had some nightmares during their perspectives, and in the nightmares of both of the man's strange old woman was seen who looked like a clown. You must remember this point. So after this, the perspective changes again, where we will see the story from Officer Paul's point of view. Officer Paul's wife is out of town, and he goes to the police station. This is the same day, friends, when Justine went to the police station because someone painted a witch on her car. Justin and Paul's eyes meet. Both of them say hi to each other, and after this, Paul leaves in his car for his duty. On the way, he sees the same drugged James trying to enter a house. In such a situation, Paul chases James and finally arrests him. Now during the search, Paul puts his hand in James' pocket and gets pricked by a needle. This must be James' drug needle, and in anger Paul punches James. Now friends, this assault action of Paul was recorded in the dash cam of his car. This means that if a higher officer sees this recording, Paul will be accused of assault and he may even lose his job. So Paul here tells Jem, I will leave you. The only condition is that you do not tell anyone about today's incident and do not be seen in this town again. James immediately breaks free and runs away. It was only after this that Paul received a message from Justin. Following Paul met Justin at a bar and the two got intimate that night. The next morning, Paul returns home to find that his wife Donna has returned home early. Donna sees Paul coming from outside, and she realizes that Paul must have cheated on her with Justin. This enrages Donna, and she attacks Justin in a Justine somehow escapes Donna's attack, and the shopkeeper takes care of Donna. Meanwhile, Paul goes to his police station and tells his captain about the assault. The captain says that if James does not complain against him, then nothing will happen to Paul, and the recorded footage will automatically get overridden in a month. After all this talk, Paul comes out of the police station where he sees James coming towards the police station. Yes, friends, after seeing James, he gets furious, saying that I had forbidden you from coming back. And then Paul starts chasing her again. At this point, the story breaks back, and we will now look at the story from James's perspective. So James is a druggist who tells 1,000 lies and even commits petty thefts to buy drugs. He was also asking Justine for money that night when she went to the store to buy alcohol. Now he was trying to break into a house to steal, and Paul caught him. After being freed by Paul, James decides to steal some items and sell them at a pawn shop. Whatever little money he gets from that, he will buy drugs. In this connection, James goes to Alex's house where he breaks into the house. In case you are confused, Alex is the only child who did not disappear from his class. So yeah, James starts stealing little things from Alex's house, like kitchen items, CDs and all. Then suddenly James sees that Alex's parents were sitting there on the sofa and they were standing like statues. I mean, he was not even moving, as if he was in some kind of trance. James ignores them and goes to the basement of the house, where he finds the 17 missing children standing in a trance state. Yes, friends, James was shocked, and at this moment Alex's parents suddenly started moving towards James. James somehow runs away from home here. Now outside on the streets, James sees posters of missing children, and the reward is $50,000. In greed for money, James calls the police and tells them that he knows the location of the children. The police tell James that if he is serious and not joking, then he should come to the police station and report, and he will get a reward. In such a situation, James goes to the police station. But there he meets Paul outside, who starts chasing James again. James runs into the forest, where he sees the same clown-like old woman who is calling him. James hides in a tent here, but someone starts opening his tent from outside. James attacks this man with an injection, and this man turns out to be Inspector Paul. Paul is enraged by this attack, and he arrests James and puts him in his car. Now James, in order to escape, tells Paul that he knows the location of the missing children. James drives Paul to Alex's house, where Paul locks James in the car and goes to search the house. Paul goes inside the house and does not come out until quite late in the night. James was waiting inside the car, and then late in the night, a ball comes out in a trance or hypnotized state and drags James inside Alex's house. The scene is cut here. Now, friends, from here, things will be shown to us from the perspective of Principal Marcus. If you remember, Justine called Marcus and told him that Marcus should legally check Alex's house to see if Alex is okay or not. This thing remained in Marcus' heart, and hence, he called Alex's parents to the school. Here a strange clown-looking woman comes to the school who introduces herself as Alex's aunt, and her name is Gladys. This clown-type kind of woman is the same one that Justin and Archer met last night. In fact, James also saw it. Gladys said that Alex's parents were very ill, and they could not come to meet Marcus. In such a situation, Marcus says that he has to meet Alex's parents, and else he will have to come to Alex's house himself and check everything. Otherwise, he'll have to involve child services. Gladys was not at all happy to hear this. Now in the next scene, we see Marcus at home with his husband, when suddenly Gladys arrives at their house. She enters the house like an uninvited guest, then asks for a bowl of water. After this, Gladys brings out a strange kind of wood in front of them, kind of like a plant stem that had many thorns. Tied to this branch was a small flag cloth from Marcus' office, which mostly Gladys Marcus must have stolen from school. Then suddenly Gladys cuts her hand with the thorns of a twig. The herb rubs the entire stem with blood. Now before Marcus or her husband can stop Gladys, she rings a small bell which completely captivates Marcus. Yes, friends, Marcus was now under the control of Gladys, and here Gladys cuts the hair of Marcus's husband, puts it on the branch, and then breaks the branch. As soon as the branch breaks, Marcus attacks her husband in a hypnotic state. The attack was so horrific that it claimed the lives of Marcus' husband. Marcus was also completely injured. Then Gladys puts the stick into the water bottle, which stops Marcus. Basically, Glady can cast a spell on anyone, and using the person under spell, she can target someone else. Like there is a guided missile or a targeted weapon, something like that. At this point, Gladys leaves Marcus on Justin, using Justin's hair. Yes, guys, I told you that Alex's mom took Justin's hair. And this also proves that Gladys was the one who had Alex's parents under her control. Well, after this, Marcus, in a hypnotized state, drives Menudo to a petrol pump where he attacks Justin. Archer was also with Justin at that time, and a fight broke out between them. Justine somehow ran away in the car, and Marcus, in a similar awkward manner, ran after Justine's car. Archer also followed them, and then a car hit Marcus, due to which Marcus' head got fractured and he died on the road. After this incident, Archer was convinced that Justine had not made the children disappear. Rather, he is also a victim. So they both meet, reconcile, and together try to find out where the children are. Archer shows Justin his map with a line saying the children will probably be around that intersection point. Seeing this, Justine immediately says that the house at the intersection point is Alex's house. In such a situation, both of them take the car outside Alex's house and start keeping an eye on him. Here again the scene changes and now the story is shown to us from Alex's perspective. That means from the very beginning when the children had not gone missing. So Alex lived with his parents. I used to go to school every day and was also a bit of a bully at school. One day Alex's father tells him that his mother's Aunt Gladys is coming to stay at their house, who is very ill and has no other place to live. That night Alex sees his mom's Aunt Gladys arrive at the house, who is very old and on the verge of dying. She also brought a strange plant with her. The next morning Alex goes to school and when school lets out his dad does Aunt come to pick him up. In such a situation, Alex returns home on foot. Where at home he finds his parents sitting at the dining table in a completely hypnotized state. Alex's parents were talking to him like robots. And seeing this Alex understands that something is wrong here. Then Gladys appears in front of Alex who now looks younger and healthier than before. We learn that Alex's parents are now under Glady's control. If Alex tells this to anyone outside, his parents will not survive. Saying this, Gladys takes out the same thorny stem or wood and then rubs her blood on it and performs the same ritual. Then suddenly Alex's parents pick up their fork and spoon and start hitting their own faces. Alex tries to stop them, but the two don't stop. Finally, Gladys breaks the stick and throws it in the water, stopping them both. Basically, by doing this Gladys was scaring Alex, because if Alex tells anyone about them then Gladys can deal with Alex's parents in one go. After this, Alex sees Gladys performing a ritual in the house and Gladys had brought a plant home. Well, she used the stem of this plant to hypnotize people. For Vashikran, Gladys needed some personal items of the people like their hair or any of their personal belongings would do. Through this ritual, Gladys would feed on the energy of those under her spell. That means it took away his life force so that he himself could become young and healthy. Here Alex would quietly go to school, come back, shop for food from the market, and he would keep his parents alive by feeding them same how beans etc. Otherwise his parents did not even move from the dining table. At the same time, Gladys was starting to grow young. But one day, Gladys suddenly starts falling ill again, and she tells Alex that if Alex brings a personal object of all the children in his class and gives it to Gladys, then Gladys will cure Alex and his parents and leave from here. So the next day Alex steals the tray labels, i.e. name stickers which are pasted on the trays of all the children in his class. That night, Gladys performs the ritual using these stickers, and the ritual is completed at exactly 2:17 a.m. Then Gladys rings a bell. When the bell rings, all 17 children run from their homes and come straight to Alex's house and then stand in the basement. So yes, this is how these 17 children went missing. Now after this incident, many press conferences etc. took place in which Gladys was with Alex and Alex did not open his mouth out of fear. The police also came to search Alex's house, but by that time Gladys had not only cleaned the house, but also hid all 17 children in the forest. After checking, the children came back and stood in the basement of the house because they were following Glady's orders only. However, it is worth noting that although Alex fulfilled his promise here, i.e. he brought the personal belongings of 17 children, Gladys did not fulfill her promise. Neither did she leave from here nor did she leave Alex, and she is still keeping his parents under her control. Literally, she is treating Alex like a servant. By the way, Paul and James have also come under the spell of hypnotized due to this ritual. Meaning, when those people went inside the house, Glady would have performed the ritual on them, and now these two are also standing inside Alex's house. Gladys had drawn salt lines inside the house, which she forbids Alex from crossing. Now at this point, all the perspectives or timelines have come together. And from here on the story will be completely linear. Now current Archer and Justin are standing outside Alex's house. Paul then goes outside the house at Glady's behest and gestures for Justin to come inside. Justin and Archer enter the house, and as soon as they cross the salt line, hypnotized Paul and James attack them. These people were attacking Justino Alex like zombies, and no matter how much they were hit, they would get up again. Eventually, Justine shoots Paul in the head with his gun, killing him. Then she kills James by shooting him in the head, allowing Archer to save him. From these scenes, we come to know that people under the spell can be killed just by hitting them on the head. Now, Archer goes to the basement where he finds 17 children standing in a trance state. He starts looking for his son Matthew, and then suddenly Gladys comes and cuts his hair. Then Gladys subdues Archer, causing him to go and attack Justin. Alex, on the other hand, was in his room at home, and he crosses a salt line near which his possessed parents were. In such a situation, his parents run to kill him, and Alex starts running away. Alex somehow runs away and reaches Gladys' room where she used to perform rituals. Here, he breaks a stem from Gladys's plant. Dan pulls a hair out of Gladys's wig. Then he pours his blood on the stem and breaks the stem. Yes, friends, Alex had learnt Gladys' ritual after seeing her here. And here he performed the ritual on Gladys herself. In such a situation, what happens is that the 17 children who were possessed start running after Gladys to kill her. Gladys starts running through town, and these 17 kids run after Gladys. Everyone in town watches the scene, and at one point the kids grab Gladys and attack her, beginning to eat her. Within a few seconds, the kids had torn Gladys' body into pieces, and with Gladys' death, everyone's spell was broken. Yes, Archer regains his senses and Justine is also saved. Avarshar's Bashikaran had happened instantly, so it was absolutely fine. But the rest of the people who had been hypnotized for some time had become like living dead to some extent. Like those 17 kids and Alex's parents. Archer finally meets his son Matthew here. Although Matthew was not saying anything. Now here again voiceover tells us that Alex's parents haven't recovered even after 2 years. In fact, they still have to feed them. And Alex now lives with another aunt who is a good and normal aunt. Now if we talk about children, they also do not say anything. After 1 year, some children are recovering and have started speaking. The film ends at this point. So friends, this was the story of Weapons movie, and it was a mind-blowing movie. Especially the direction of the film was very amazing. So yes, I hope I have explained the whole story to you clearly. And if you still have any doubt in your mind, then definitely ask us in the comments. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then like and share this video. Also, if you're new on the channel, then please subscribe to us because we keep bringing such videos on our channel.